Hello everybody, it's Non-Scene News here, and today we've got a lot of breaking updates today. So the first news is coming from Turkmenistan, where we've got news that Putin has landed in the Turkmenistan capital of Ashgabat. So we can see here in the bottom left corner, we can see Vladimir Putin get out of his plane in the capital city of Turkmenistan. During his visit in Turkmenistan, he was expected to meet the Iranian president in the capital city of Turkmenistan, and it seems it was true. So if you can see here in the bottom left corner, we can see the Iranian president meet Vladimir Putin for the first time, I believe. I'll just go through the statements that each leader went through. So first I'll start with Vladimir Putin's statements, and then I'll go to the Iranian president's statements. So Putin stated that relations with Iran are a priority for Russia, and they are developing very successfully. Another meeting with the Iranian president is planned at the BRICS summit in Kazan. Russia is actively cooperating with Iran on the international stage. Now let's go to the statements of the Iranian president. He stated that the situation in the region has become more critical due to Israel's disregard for international and humanitarian legal norms. European countries and the USA hinders at de-escalation in the Middle East. The partnership between Iran and Russia in the cultural and economic spheres is strengthening daily. Iran expects to sign a strategic cooperation agreement between the countries at the BRICS summit in Kazan. So, very big meeting between the Iranian president and the Russian president. And just on the BRICS meeting that is actually coming up pretty soon. So, they talked about the Kazan BRICS meeting. So, the Kazan BRICS meeting is coming up very soon. I believe it's next Wednesday on the 16th of October. So, the leaders that will be attending the summit right now, it seems that President of China, Xi Jinping, will be attending, Prime Minister of India, President of South Africa, Brazil, Iran, Egypt, UAE, Saudi Arabia, Ethiopia, Turkey, Armenia, Belarus, Mongolia, and Bolivia. So that's all of the leaders that will be visiting the city of Kazan for the BRICS meeting. So I'll keep you updated on that. We've also got news that Putin has expanded the visa-free regime for Georgian citizens entering the Russian Federation to work for a period of more than 90 days. So President Putin has expanded the visa-free for Georgian citizens entering the Russian Federation to work for a period of more than 90 days. We've also got news that during the previous 24 hours, Ukraine has reportedly struck a Russian Shahad kamikaze UAV storage facility in this Russian city of Krasnodar. I think that's how you pronounce it, Krasnodar. Ukraine has reportedly destroyed the Russian UAV storage facility, and it's estimated that the facility had 400 Russian Shahad kamikaze UAV drones in the facility. Now let's head to Ukraine, where we've got news that the Ukrainian nuclear power plants are ready for winter. All 9 energy units under Ukraine's control are operating normally, with repairs completed, according to the Minister of Energy. So all nuclear power plants are ready for the winter, according to the Energy Minister of Ukraine. And now let's go to this Zelenskys tour. So President Zelensky of Ukraine is now touring most of Europe, and first he visited the UK. So President Zelensky has arrived in London for meetings with NATO's new Secretary General Rutte and the UK Prime Minister Starmer. So we can see here in the bottom left corner, we can see Zelensky meet the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom at 10 Downing Street. After the meeting, the Prime Minister Keir Starmer stated that he spent the entire morning discussing the victory plan with Zelensky. The President of Ukraine later announced that he and Starmer had agreed to develop a victory plan together with their allies. So after the meeting with Zelensky and Keir Starmer, the new NATO Secretary General took some questions from some reporters. He stated that Ukraine is legally allowed to use NATO weapons to strike deep into Russia. So big news, and he also announced that NATO is to hold an annual nuclear exercises starting on Monday. So NATO will commence its annual nuclear exercises known as Steadfast Noon on Monday. This was announced by NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte during his visit to London. So around 60 aircraft, including F-35A fighters and B-52 bombers from 13 countries, will take part in this exercise. The exercises will focus primarily on the UK, the North Sea, as well as Belgium and the Netherlands. Although no live weapons will be used, about 2,000 military personnel will simulate a mission involving aircraft carrying US nuclear warheads. The drill will last approximately 2 weeks. So we've got news that NATO will be doing a nuclear exercise, but obviously with no live nuclear weapons. It's just a simulation if the real thing were to happen. And Zelensky's next stop was Paris, where he met the French President Macron. So Zelensky and Macron revealed details of their negotiations. So President Zelensky of Ukraine stated that I shared our plans, including the victory plan and others, with Emmanuel Macron, the President of France, and informed him about the situation on the battlefield. We will need your support before winter. We are grateful for everything you do for us, noted President of Ukraine. So that's all the information we've really gotten about the meeting between Macron and Zelensky. So after the meetings, Zelensky answered some reporters' questions, and he stated that we are not considering a ceasefire in exchange for Western guarantees, Zelensky said in Paris. And he said Russia works a lot with the media for disinformation. It is understandable, he said. So there'll be no ceasefire for Western guarantees. The President Zelensky stated. So very interesting news. We've also got news that Zelensky's European tour continues now in Italy. The Ukrainian president was welcomed by Italy's Prime Minister Meloni and is set to meet with the Pope in the Vatican. So we've actually gotten no information about their meeting. We've gotten some rumours that they talked about a bit about reconstruction of Ukraine, but that's about it. And after Zelensky's meeting with the Italian Prime Minister, he met with Pope Francis in the Vatican City. So Zelensky presented the Pope with the painting of Butcher Massacre and received a flower of peace in return. The Vatican reports that Zelensky presented Pope Francis with the painting of Butcher Massacre, the story of Mirishka. So, according to the author of the painting depicts a girl named Mirishka who witnessed a Russian soldier torture and kill her father and mother and grandmother. So, in return, the Pope presented the present with a bronze sculpture of peace is a fragile flower. So, very interesting news. And now let's head back to Eastern Europe, where we've got news that Polish farmers are going to resume the blockade of cargo movement across the border with Ukraine, as they did last year. The first blockade is announced in this exact checkpoint here between Poland and Ukraine. So Polish farmers are yet again going to resume the blockade of cargo movement across the border with Ukraine. So I'll keep you updated on that. We've also got news coming from Latvia that Latvia has partially banned mobile phones in schools. So on Thursday, the Latvian Parliament passed a final amendment to the education law, which introduces a ban on the use of mobile phones in schools by students in grade 1 through grade 6. So interesting news. We've also got news that the Hungarian foreign minister has arrived in St. Petersburg to hold talks and conclude an agreement on natural gas supplies between Russia and Hungary. So I'll keep you updated if anything interesting happens there. We've also got news coming from Viktor Orban. So Viktor Orban has delivered a powerful speech in the EU Parliament, which is about 1 minute and 30 seconds. So if you want to watch it, here it is. But if you don't want to watch it, just skip 1 minute and 30 seconds ahead. So I'll see you back in a bit.
Mert az a helyzet, hogy vesztésre állunk az ukrán fronton. És önök itt úgy tesznek, mintha ez nem így lenne. A valóság az, hogy a bizottság elnökasszonyának is köszönhetően az Európai Unió meggondolatlanul, téves számítások alapján és elhibázott stratégiával vágott bele ebbe a háborúba. Ha győzni akarunk, a mostani vesztes stratégiát meg kell változtatni. Ez egy rosszul megtervezett és rosszul végrehajtott stratégia. Ha ezen az úton megyünk tovább, veszíteni fogunk. Ha azt akarjuk, hogy ne veszítsen, akkor stratégiát kell váltani. De itt azt javaslom, ezt fontolják meg. Minden háborúban kell, hogy legyen diplomáciai tevékenység, kell, hogy legyen kommunikáció, direkt vagy indirekt kapcsolattartás. Ha ezt elmulasztjuk, egyre mélyebbre megyünk a háború bugyrába. Egyre kétségbeesettebb helyzetek lesznek, egyre többen halnak meg, százezrek halnak meg, most is még mi itt beszélünk, ezrek halnak meg Ukrajnába. Ennek a konfliktusnak ezzel a stratégiával nem lesz megoldása a harctéren. Ezért javaslom, hogy álljanak inkább a béke mellett. Érveljünk a tűzszünet mellett, és csináljunk egy másik stratégiát, mert ezen mindannyian rajta fogunk veszíteni.
So that was Viktor Orban's, the Prime Minister of Hungary's powerful speech in the EU Parliament. Now let's head to Germany, where we've got news that the German Chancellor Olaf Scholz stated that Germany has sent weapons to Israel and will continue to do so. And the surprising news today is that actually the Serbian President Vučić has signed a declaration supporting Ukraine at the Ukraine Southeast Europe Summit in Croatia, and Serbia has condemned Russia's actions in the war in Ukraine, but however, Serbia will not impose any sanctions on Russia. So, big news. We've got news coming from Italy that Italy summons the Israeli ambassador after an attack on UN peacekeeping forces in Lebanon. So we've got news that Israel actually attacked UN peacekeeping forces, which we'll be talking a little bit about in a bit. But right now, Italy summons the Israeli ambassador to Rome after an attack by Israel on UN peacekeeping forces in Lebanon. We'll be talking a little bit about this in a bit, but let's just continue. The next news is coming from Algeria, and more specifically coming from the Algerian president. So the Algerian president stated that Algeria cannot cause any harm or damage to Russia. The relations between the two countries are the relations of a friendship. Russia supported Algeria during the liberation war against the French colonialism, stated the Algerian president, responding to rumours regarding the situation in the Sahel region and the possible deterioration of relations with Russia. So, big news. Now let's head to Israel, where we've got news that Israel promises a deadly, precise and an unexpected response to Iran's attack. So today, the Israeli Security Cabinet is set to meet, where the retaliation strike on Iran is expected to be discussed. So, Israel stated that a deadly, precise and unexpected attack will happen on Iran. So, big news. We've also gotten a map of the Israeli advancements into Lebanon. So you can see here in the bottom left corner, this is all of the Israeli advancements into southern Lebanon. We've also got news that the Israeli military comments on the firing near UN peacekeepers base in southern Lebanon. So the Israeli military has said that its forces opened fire in an area where the UN peacekeepers have their headquarters in southern Lebanon, adding that Hezbollah fighters were operating nearby. So this was the reason why Israel kind of attacked the UN headquarters in southern Lebanon. So very interesting news. We've got news that a lot of people were wounded, well, in terms of the UN peacekeepers, in this Israeli attack on the UN headquarters. We've also gotten some news coming from Hezbollah, that Hezbollah has released footage of its recon drone named Hod Hod. So the drone captured images of the Israeli military bases, headquarters and facilities in the Israeli city of Haifa. So, and the drone actually returned safely without any detection by the enemy, stated Hezbollah. So, if you can see in this video here in your bottom left corner, we can see the drone capturing images of the Israeli military bases, headquarters, and facilities in the Israeli city of Haifa. So, and apparently, this drone is doing very well at the moment, according to the Hezbollah officials. So, big news. And now let's head to Asia, where we've got news that the Prime Minister Modi, has arrived in Laos for the upcoming India ASEAN Summit and the East Asia Summit. We've also got news that the Russian Foreign Minister Lavrov has arrived in Laos for the 19th East Asia Summit. The Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov received a warm welcome upon his arrival. So did Prime Minister Modi of India. We've also got news coming from China, and more specifically coming from Mao Ning, the Chinese Foreign Ministry spokeswoman. So she stated that Taiwan has never been a country and will never become one, and there is no such thing as its sovereignty. So this was stated by Mao Ning, the Chinese Foreign Ministry spokeswoman. So big news. We've also got news that the Australian Prime Minister Albanese met with the Chinese Premier Li and agreed to resume full lobster trade by the end of the year in time for Chinese New Year's. So very big news. We've also got news coming from Taiwan, where the Taiwanese president stated that our determination to defend our national sovereignty remains unchanged. This is the dream of all 23 million people living in Taiwan share. He also stated that Taiwan will become much stronger. So, very interesting news. And probably one of the biggest news today is coming from the Korean Peninsula. So, we've got news that North Korea has put offensive weapons on full alert at the South Korean border. So the North Korean Ministry of Foreign Affairs has announced that the DPRK, so North Korea, will place its offensive weapons on full alert at the border with South Korea. And the North Korean authorities has issued a final warning to South Korea, demanding an end to its drone flights. So, very big news. We've also got news and some footage of the Hurricane Milton that hits Florida. So you can see here in the bottom left corner, there's a lot of videos here, but this is the new footage of the Hurricane Milton in the US, so in Florida. We've also gotten some reports from the NBC News. So according to NBC News, Hurricane Milton has killed at least 11 people in Florida and in the United States. The hurricane has reportedly left Florida and is moving over the waters of the Atlantic. So it seems that this hurricane is apparently finished, so the worst is over. So very good news. And last news coming today is coming from the US state of California, where we've got news that Tesla has unveiled its new driverless taxis and a bus. They have no steering wheels or pedals at all. The presentation in California was held by Elon Musk. The robot taxi is called the Cybercab, will cost less than $30,000, and it apparently can charge wirelessly, which I'm very unsure how they do it, and it will be 10 to 20 times safer than human-driven cars, Elon Musk said. So Tesla already has 50 of these cars and wants to begin fully autonomous unsupervised driving in Texas and California next year using existing models, and then move into mass production by 2027. Elon Musk also showed off the humanoid robot Optimus again, which can do different tasks. The price is about $20,000 to $30,000, but there is no time frame for sale. So if you can see here in your bottom left corner, these are humanoid, and apparently if you can see here in your bottom left corner, it actually had a full conversation with a man. So if you want to watch it, here it is, but if you don't want to watch it, just skip ahead.
Optimus. It's insane, it's even talking.
Say hi to my friend John. John? Where's John?
Right here.
Oh, hello, John.
How are you?
How you doing?
That's
Very good.
crazy. I'm
Where are
talking
you
to a
from,
robot.
John?
From San Jose. Probably from where you were born in Silicon
That's
Valley.
wonderful. Where do you live in San Jose? Do you
Lo-
live in Allen Valley, or do you live in
Ye-
Santa Teresa area?
No, I live in Los Gatos.
Los Gatos. Oh, wonderful. Very
Yeah.
nice area.
Where do you live?
Beautiful hiking I hear out there.
There is. Where do you live?
I live in Palo Alto at the current moment.
Figures. Yeah,
Yes.
this is awesome.
That's where they train us, that's where we get our builds, and that's where we work with a wonderful group of people.
What's the hardest thing about being a robot?
Trying to learn how to be as human as you guys are.
Very interesting news and a little bit concerning, I'll just add. But that's all the news I actually have for you today. I am Non-Scene News. I'll try and provide you news that medias around the world do not show you. I do these videos hopefully daily, so consider subscribing and liking. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all later. Bye.